Welcome to this tutorial series on SQL and database. But before we learn about database, let's understand what is data. In simple words, data can be facts related to any object in consideration. For example, your name, age, height, weight, etc. are some data related to you. A picture, image, file, PDF, etc. can all be considered data. Now, what is a database? We already know what data is, but this data could be random. A database is a systematic collection of data. Since the data in a database is organized, it makes data management easy. What is a database management system? DBMS. Database Management System, or DBMS, is a collection of programs which enables its users to access a database, manipulate data, and help in the representation of data. It also helps control access to the database by various users. Let's discuss a few examples. An online telephone directory would definitely use Database Management System to store data pertaining to people, phone numbers, and other contact details. Your electricity service provider is obviously using a DBMS to manage billing, client-related issues, to handle fault data, etc. Let's consider the Facebook. It needs to store, manipulate, and present data related to members, their friends, member activities, messages, advertisements, and a lot more. We can provide countless numbers of examples for usage of DBMS. Database management systems are not a new concept, and as such had been first implemented in the 1960s. Charles Bachman's Integrated Data Store, or IDS, is said to be the first DBMS in history. With time, database technologies evolved a lot, while usage and expected functionalities of databases have been increased immensely. Types of DBMS. Let's see how the DBMS family evolved with time. The following diagram shows the evolution of DBMS categories. There are four major types of DBMS. Let's look into them in detail. Hierarchical. This type of DBMS employs the parent-child relationship of storing data. This type of DBMS is rarely used nowadays. Its structure is like a tree with nodes representing records and branches representing fields. The Windows registry used in Windows XP is an example of a hierarchical database. Configuration settings are stored as tree structures with nodes. Network DBMS. This type of DBMS supports many-to-many relationships. This usually results in complex database structures. RDM server is an example of a database management system that implements the network model. Relational DBMS. This type of DBMS defines database relationships in forms of tables, also known as relations. Unlike the network DBMS, RDBMS does not support many-to-many relationships. Relational DBMS usually have predefined data types that they can support. This is the most popular DBMS type in the market. Examples of relational database management systems include MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server. Object-oriented relational DBMS. This type supports storage of new data types. The data to be stored is in the form of objects. The objects to be stored in the database have attributes, for example, gender or age, and methods that define what to do with the data. PostgreSQL is an example of object-oriented relational DBMS. So what is SQL? Structured Query Language, SQL, pronounced as SQL or sometimes as SQL, is actually the standard language for dealing with relational databases. SQL can be effectively used to insert, search, update, and delete database records. That doesn't mean SQL cannot do things beyond that. In fact, it helps in optimizing and maintenance of databases and much more. Relational databases like MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, Sybase, etc. use SQL. SQL syntaxes used in these databases are almost similar, except the fact that some databases use different syntaxes and even proprietary SQL syntaxes. An example of an SQL statement: select star from members where age is greater than 30. DBMS stands for Database Management System. We have 4 major types of DBMSs called hierarchical, network, relational, and object-oriented. The most widely used DBMS is the relational model that saves data in table formats. It uses SQL as the standard query language. SQL is the standard language used to query a database. The database approach has many advantages when it comes to storing data compared to the traditional flat file-based systems.